So good morning students. So let us start the session. So today we are going to discuss about data flow anomaly state graph. So data flow anomaly models prescribed that an object can be in one of four distinct states. One is K. So what is a K? So K means undefined. So K means undefined. That means the data object undefined and so previously killed. So previously killed and does not exist. Okay, the data object state K indicates that the object undefined and so previously killed and it does not exist. So next state is D. D. So D means defined, defined but not yet used for anything. But not used for anything. Not used for anything. So next state is U. So U means it has been used for computation or in predicate. So U means so used in computations or so used this data object in so predicates. Okay. And the A indicates anomalous. So anomalous is nothing but bug. So this is anomalous. Okay. And the processing steps are KDU. The object data object states are capital letters and the processing steps are KDU in small letters. Okay, so we can indicate these processing steps with the help of small KDU and we indicate the state of the data object with the help of capital letters. Okay, so what is the purpose of data flow anomaly system graph? The data flow anomaly system graph so indicates that the status of the data object and data object state. The capital letters K do A so denote the state of the variable and should not be confused with the program action so denoted by lowercase letters. These actions are denoted by small letters and the states are denoted by the capital letters. So this is the example for the data flow anomaly state graph. Okay, the data flow graph consists of K, D, U, A capital letters. That means these are the states. So K, D, U, A. So what is a K? So K means undefined or previously killed, does not exist, and D means so defined but not at used for anything, and U means so this has been used for computations or in predicate, and A means anomalous. So this is the bug. So these Ku are the states. So D is the state. So D means so defined. So U means using. D means defined. So K means undefined. Previously it is killed and but not exit. Okay. So this data flow graph here, if you observe that, so this is the data flow graph. This indicates that unforgiving data flow state graph. So this is the example for unforgiving data flow state graph. Okay, there are two types. One is forgiving data flow state graph, unforgiving data flow state graph. So unforgiving data flow state graph means in which once a variable becomes anomalous, it can never return to a state of working. Okay, so if you observe that here, so this is the variable enter into the state of anomalous here. So dku, That means it does not enter into any other state if it is enter into this anomalous state. So unforgiving model in which once a variable becomes anomalous, it can never return to a state of working. Okay, so that means if any data object may be anomalous, that cannot be written to any other state. So this type of data flow graph we are called as a unforgiving data flow state graph. So assume that the variable starts in the k state. Okay, the variable starts in the k state. It has not been defined. If an attempt is made to use it or kill it, the object state becomes anomalous. Why? So it is not defined. If you want to define if an attempt is made to use it or kill it, then the state becomes anomalous. So once it is in anomalous, so no action can return the variable to working state. If it is defined D, if it is defined D, it goes into the D. So for example, so this K means undefined. If it is defined, if it is defined, then it goes to D state. If it is undefined, but you're trying to kill or you try to use this variable, then it goes to anomalous state. It has been defined D and kill without using K, it becomes anomalous. That means if you define this and without using, you are going to say D comma A. So D is nothing but you are creating, K is nothing but killing. Okay, if it is in usage, if it is in usage, if it is in usage, it goes to U. The redefinition so brings back to D. Okay, this is the D. So after usage, it is killed and goes to K. After a usage, it goes to K. Okay. So unforgiving data flow state graph is nothing but so in which once a variable becomes anomalous, it can never return to a state of working. So this we are called as a unforgiving data flow state graph. This is the K. So KU, if you want to use, then it goes to this anomalous state and it can never return to a state of working. So that we are called as a unforgiving data flow state graph. So next one, forgiving data flow anomaly flow graph. So forgiving model is an alternate model where the redemption from the anomalous state is possible. So forgiving model is an alternate model where the recover from the anomalous state is possible. So in this previous example, so this is the anomalous. So now the state, if you recover this anomalous state, so that we are called as a forgiving data flow state graph. Okay. So this is the example for so forgiving data flow state graph. So this graph has three normal and three anomalous states. Okay, so these are the three. So K, D, U. So these three are the normal states. KU, DK, DD, DD. So these three are the anomalous states. The difference between the state graph and previous state graph is that recovery is possible. A proper action from any of the three anomalous states return the variable to useful working state. So create, if you observe that here, so this is the kill. If you try to use, again you kill, then it comes back to this kill state. And similarly, so D, so if you kill, then if you can define, then it come back to this so defined state. Okay, that means the difference between these state graph and previous state graph is that recovery is possible. A proper action from any of the three anomalous states so return the variable to a useful working state. So this is the alternative anomaly state graph is to demonstrate the specific of an anomaly with two character representation. Here KU, so DK and DD. These are the So two character representation. So DD, this is the anomalies. So DD, DK and KU. So on previous graph, we indicate these three states as a anomaly. Now we convert this anomaly by using these two character representation. Okay. So static versus dynamic anomaly detection. So static analysis is analysis done on source code without actually executing. The static anomaly. Static anomaly is nothing but analysis done on source code. You are going to analyze the source code without executing it. So for example, source code syntax error detection is the static analysis result. Dynamic analysis is done on the program is being executed. So dynamic means you are going to do the analysis on the program is being executing, is being executing, is being executing, and is based on intermediate values that results from the program's execution. So for example, so division by 0. So division by 0. For example, 5 by a minus b. Okay. If a and b values are the zeros. So for example, then it becomes a division by 0. Warning is the dynamic result. I hope you all know exception handling. If these a and b values are the same, then so this instruction raises an exception. So this we are called as a dynamic result. So problems such as data flow anomaly can be detected by static analysis, but static analysis is not enough. So static analysis is not enough. There are unsolvable problems, so dynamic analysis is needed. So this is the example. In static analysis, if you see this instruction, so 5 by a minus b, at that time, you don't think that there is any anomaly. But in dynamic, when you are executing the program, the a and b values are the same, then we got the anomaly when we execute this program. That means static analysis of data flows. So dynamic analysis means intermediate data values. Why? We are going to do the analysis on program execution. Okay, so these are the insufficiency of static analysis. So validation of dead variables, that means it is sometimes not possible to prove that the variable is dead or alive in the program. Why? So it is a static analysis. And so validation of pointers in arrays. So array pointers are usually dynamically calculated. So there is no way to do a static analysis to validate the pointer value. So that means we don't know the size of the pointer, for example, integer pointer, we don't know. Then the static analysis was not possible. And next one, so validation of pointers for records and pointers also not possible. And next one, dynamic addresses for dynamic subroutine calls. Subroutine or function name is a dynamic variable in a call. They are constructed on a specific path. So there is no way without executing the path to determine whether the call is correct or not. And identifying the false anomaly on a unachievable path, recoverable anomalies and alternate state graph, and concurrency interrupt and system issues. So data flow model. So based on CFG. So CFG means control flow graph. So CFG annotated with program actions. Here the link weights dk, so dp, du, etc. not same as dfg for each variable and data object. Procedure to build data flow model. So entry and exit nodes, unique node identification, weights on outlink, predicate nodes, sequence of links, join, concatenate weights, and the converse. We discuss with one example. Okay, so this is the example. Here we are going to draw the data flow model for this program. So here if you observe that, so this a, b, n, z are the variables. So this is the predicate. If a equals to 1, z equals to 1, go to done 1, star equals to 1, c equals to 1. That means all these are the variables a, b, n, z, r, c. All these are the variables. You are going to initialize these variables and update these variables, and you use these variables as a predicate values, and finally you are going to find the z value here. Z equals to b plus a power n minus 1 by a minus 1. For this we are going to use these instructions: c equals to c into a, r equals to r plus 1. This is the program. Here our intention is you are going to draw the data flow model for this example. Okay, CFG, so control flow graph for this example. So these are the nodes. So 1, 2, you observe that. So this is the program. Start, input a, b, n, z equals to 0. And second step, there is a predicate. So second one, a equals to 1, then if a equals to 1, then z equals to minus 1. Then the 2, a equals to 1, z equals to minus 1. And go to done 1, r equals to 1, c equals to 1. This is the r equals to 1, c equals to 1. So this is the control flow graph for the example. So now, so this is the data flow model for z. So there are many variables, a, b, n, r, c. So for in that, so z is the data object. Z is the data object. So this is the data flow model for z. D, here the D. So D means define. So Z, already we discussed about the states. So these are the states. So K, D, U, A. So D means define. Z equals to 0 here. Z equals to 0. So you are going to define this D. Z, define the Z. So after that, A equals to 1, D or KD. That means, so based on this predicate A equals to 1 or not, then you are going to define or kill that. Okay. So after that, so C, so means you are going to here use the C, CD or CKD. That means here you can define the data model for data object Z. So that means the variable Z. So where is the Z here? So this is the Z. Then Z equals to 1. That means here initialization, the define. So after that you can define. After that here you are going to update the Z. Here you are using the Z. Z equals to B plus Z. And you can specify in terms of states here. So P1, so D or KD, CD or CKD, so D or KD. So that means you are going to kill or define or you are going to use. Okay, you specify in this way. And similarly, the CFG, annotated data flow model for variable C here. So C means in this example, this is the C. Okay, so C equals to 1. Okay, so here there is a C. So where we are using these data object C, in that you can specify the state of the variable C. And similarly, so this is the CFG annotated data flow model for R. So this is the R variable, so R equals to 1. So for that you can draw the data flow model. And similarly, so this is the data model for B. So this is the data model for N. So this is the data model for A. Okay, so in this way you are going to draw the data flow model. You are going to take one example for this, and in this example you can observe all the variables, and for this instructions you are going to draw the control flow graph. After that you are going to draw the data flow model for each variable, each data object in the program. In next class we are going to discuss about data flow testing strategies. So thank you all. So we meet in tomorrow class.